She signed the divorce papers with a smile, thinking she was leaving a broke loser, not knowing he had $500 million hidden the entire time. Let me tell you this insane story that happened in Los Angeles 3 years ago. This is about a guy named David Chen and his ex-wife Amanda. David was a quiet, humble guy who worked as a software developer. But here's what almost nobody knew. David was actually a crypto millionaire who had invested early in Bitcoin back in 2011. He bought thousands of Bitcoin when they were worth almost nothing. By 2019, his crypto portfolio was worth over $500 million. But David never told anyone, not his friends, not his family, and definitely not his wife Amanda. David and Amanda got married in 2015 when Bitcoin was still relatively unknown. At that time, David worked a normal tech job making about $80,000 a year. They lived in a modest apartment and drove regular cars. Amanda knew David had some Bitcoin, but she thought it was just a weird hobby. She had no idea how much it was actually worth. David kept his wealth secret for a specific reason. He wanted to know that people loved him for who he was, not for his money. He had seen too many wealthy people surrounded by fake friends and gold diggers. So he lived like a normal middle-class guy and watched how people treated him. Everything was fine for the first few years of their marriage. But around 2018, Amanda started changing. She began complaining that David wasn't ambitious enough. She said he should be making more money and climbing the corporate ladder. Amanda's friends were all marrying doctors, lawyers, and business executives. She felt embarrassed that her husband was just a regular software developer. She started making comments about how disappointed she was in their lifestyle. Amanda wanted a bigger house, luxury cars, and expensive vacations. David could have easily given her all of that, but he wanted to see if she truly loved him or just loved the idea of wealth. So he kept working his normal job and living modestly. Amanda's complaints got worse and worse. She started going out with her friends more and coming home late. David discovered she was talking to other men online, successful men with money and status. When David confronted her, Amanda didn't even deny it. She said she deserved better than a man with no ambition. She said she was tired of being married to someone who was going nowhere in life. Amanda told David she wanted a divorce. She said she was still young and attractive and could find someone better. Someone who could give her the life she deserved. David was heartbroken, but he didn't fight it. He agreed to the divorce. Amanda's lawyer drew up the papers. She asked for half of everything they owned. The apartment, the cars, and half of David's savings account. David's lawyer looked over everything. The divorce papers only mentioned their joint assets and his regular bank accounts. There was no mention of his crypto holdings, because Amanda had no idea they existed. David had kept his crypto in cold storage wallets that were completely separate from their joint finances. Legally, he didn't have to disclose assets that Amanda didn't know about and wasn't asking for. His lawyer confirmed that the crypto wasn't part of the divorce settlement. Amanda was so eager to leave that she didn't even hire a forensic accountant. She just assumed David was exactly as broke as he appeared to be. They went to court and finalized everything. Amanda got half of their small savings, which was about $40,000. She got one of their cars, and she walked away thinking she had gotten everything David had. At the final court hearing, Amanda actually laughed. She told her friends she was free from her loser husband. She said she was going to find a real man with real money. David signed the papers quietly and didn't say a word. 2 months after the divorce was final, something interesting happened. Amanda started seeing a successful real estate developer named Marcus. He drove a Ferrari and took her to expensive restaurants. Amanda posted pictures all over social media showing off her new wealthy boyfriend. She was living the life she always wanted. But then Marcus's real estate company went bankrupt. Turns out he was billions in debt and just faking the lifestyle. Amanda dumped him immediately. She went through to more wealthy boyfriends over the next year. Both relationships ended badly. Meanwhile, David started living his real life. He bought a beautiful mansion in Beverly Hills. He got a collection of luxury cars. He started a charitable foundation and donated millions to causes he cared about. Pictures of David at charity galas started appearing in local news. Articles were written about this mysterious tech millionaire and his generous donations. That's when Amanda saw it. She was scrolling through social media and saw a picture of David at a fundraising event. He was wearing a custom suit and standing next to the mayor. The caption mentioned his $500 million crypto fortune. Amanda couldn't believe what she was seeing. She called David immediately, screaming. She demanded to know why he never told her about the money. David calmly explained that he had the Bitcoin the entire time they were married. He said he kept it secret to see if she truly loved him. And clearly, she didn't. Amanda lost her mind. She said he had lied to her and stolen her future. David reminded her that she divorced him because she thought he was broke. She left him specifically because he didn't have enough money. Now she was mad that he actually did have money. Amanda immediately called her divorce lawyer. She wanted to reopen the case and get half of David's crypto fortune, but her lawyer had bad news. The divorce was final, and she had signed away any claims to assets she didn't specifically ask for. She never mentioned crypto in the divorce. She never hired anyone to investigate his finances. She just assumed he was poor and left. Legally, she had no claim to any of it. Amanda tried to sue anyway. She spent $100,000 on lawyers. Every court dismissed her case. The judges said she had a chance to do proper financial discovery during the divorce, but chose not to. She can't come back years later, just because she found out he had money. Amanda lost everything on legal fees. Her story became a cautionary tale on social media. People called her the ultimate gold digger who lost the gold. Meanwhile, David met a woman named Sarah at one of his charity events. Sarah was a teacher who volunteered at homeless shelters. She had no idea David was wealthy when they first met. They dated for 2 years, while David lived modestly again to test her. Sarah loved him just for being kind and genuine. When David finally revealed his wealth, Sarah didn't care. She said she would have loved him either way. They got married last year. David donated $50 million to education charities in Sarah's name. They're happy together and working on charitable projects. Amanda is still single and still looking for a wealthy man. She posts bitter comments on social media about David, but nobody feels sorry for her. She had a good man who was secretly incredibly wealthy, but she threw him away because she thought he was broke. She chose money over love. And ironically, that choice cost her $500 million. The lesson here is pretty clear. Love people for who they are, not what they have. You never know who you're really with. That humble, modest person might be secretly wealthy. And if you can't love them when you think they have nothing, you don't deserve them when they have everything. Amanda learned that lesson the hardest way possible. And David found someone who actually deserved his love and his fortune. That's the end of this crazy story. Remember, treat people right regardless of what you think they're worth. Because you might just regret it if you don't.